And it's Andy here, and today I wanted to give you two updates. The first is what's happening with the emergency allotments for February, the last month when the emergency boost for the SNAP program is available, and also what's happening with the start of tax season and when you could expect to see a refund. As always, if the information here is useful, please hit the like button and keep subscribing to get more videos like this throughout the tax season. So the USDA has published the latest waivers that they're giving for February allotments for the SNAP program. Again, these boost payments by up to 15% for lots of households that were getting SNAP before, plus $95 more if you're already at the maximum. So it's a pretty big boost for a lot of people. Through January, about 34 states had applied and got exceptions to pay these boosts. However, this number is dwindling, and so far, as of towards the end of January, much fewer states, about 23 have currently got waivers. So other states will probably come towards the end of the month, but definitely it's dwindling as we exit the program after February. So there'll be payments in February into March, but February is the last month when the funding is available. So the USDA has already announced that they will be terminating these benefits, and from March, April, a lot of states will go back, and you can look at some previous videos and updates on this, and I have a whole section at savingtoinvest.com/snap for more details. But so far, California, Maine, Oklahoma, Virginia, Delaware, Maryland, Oregon, Washington, D.C., Michigan, Rhode Island, West Virginia, Kansas, New Hampshire, Utah, Wisconsin, and Louisiana, New Jersey, and Vermont have all got these extra payments in February, and you'll have links that'll show you when these will be paid in February and into March. So the other update I want to share is that officially the IRS has kicked off the 2023 tax season. So January 23rd was when they have said they will start accepting and processing tax returns. So a lot of folks have submitted it. Some people did get early returns processed as part of the IRS test batches, but January 23rd is when they will start sending out refunds, mainly through direct deposit initially, and some folks could see refunds hit later this week. But as expected, this season, there's been a lot of investment. There's less stuff happening congressionally, and so the acting commissioner, Doug O'Donnell of the IRS, basically has said that the IRS has been spending a lot of time clearing backlogs, getting ready for this year's tax season. Through the Inflation Reduction Act, they've also been able to increase IRS staffing to provide taxpayers with more information and assistance, both on the phone and in person in tax assistance centers. So they're expecting the tax season to be much smoother this year. In terms of key dates, like I said, Jan 23rd is when they have started accepting and processing tax returns, which means that refunds will come within 10 to 21 days. And I have a full refund schedule available at savingtoinvest.com/taxes. But the good news is they've started processing now. Those people who have claimed the child tax credit, the additional child tax credit, and the earned income tax credit, both which are refundable refunds, which means you get them paid even if you don't have a tax liability, and tied to dependents, are mandated to be held by the IRS for additional validation and verification. So those tax returns with those credits, the earned income tax credit and the additional child tax credit, won't see refunds paid until February 28th or after. This happens every year. It's mandated. It's nothing the IRS can do. So if you have that and you've already filed early, just be prepared to wait for a while. And I have a few videos here around the PATH Act you can go look at if you want. April 18th is when the taxes are due. That's the official due date. Normally it's April 15th, but because that's on a Saturday and Emancipation Day in DC is on the Monday, which is where the IRS is based, so it's a holiday. So April 18th is when the due date is for the regular tax season. Now, there are some places in California, Alabama, Georgia that have got extensions until May 15th due to federally declared disasters, and so they have an extra month to file and pay any taxes. But if you can't file a return, you can file an extension, which will then be due for your filing will then be due by October 16th. Now, again, an extension to file is not an extension to pay. So if you owe a tax liability, estimated or actual, you need to make it by April 18th or May 15th if you're in those FEMA declared areas. But October 16th is when you must also do the final filing. So Just be aware of these key dates. You can see some more dates in between as well on savingtoinvest.com/taxes, but keep these in mind. And my recommendation is, wait till you get all your W-2 and 1099 forms, which should all be mailed to you by end of January, early February, and file then. If you don't have any income and you just want to get a refund, then you can file now. So a couple of key warnings that were in the IRS news release, and I'll post a link to that in the description below. So there will be lower tax refunds for most people this year. It was over $3,000 last tax season, so this year probably will be more around the 2,500 to 2,800 mark. And the simple reason is there weren't as many expanded tax credits, especially the child tax credit or the child independent care expenses credit, and there were no more stimulus checks paid out. So combined with all those sort of free government money, a lot of taxpayers who had claimed some of that in their tax refund will not see that this year, and much smaller amounts if they do. So expect lower refunds. A lot of people are already seeing that in forums that I've noticed, so don't be shocked if that happens to you. And if you are still waiting for a past year tax return, um, IRS is moving on the backlog, but with the start of the 2022 tax season, it could take some time for those to be processed. So you can still file a 2022 return. You can put 0 for the prior box, but expect that that could still keep going. This includes amended returns as well. So be patient there. Keep checking your status tools on the IRS website, and I'll post more updates throughout the tax season on these things. If you like what you see here, please hit the like and subscribe button, and I'll share some updates in the next week or so. Thanks. Bye.